Welcome back. It's often said the suit maketh the man, and nowhere is this more evident than Batman. His suit is as iconic and essential to his character as the symbol or the car. It's both an instrument of fear and a symbol of justice for the people of Gotham, but on top of that it tells a story. And that extends into the Batman Arkham series, where the story of Batman can be put together by his suit. Each suit tells us a story of where he is in his career, the threat he's dealing with, and the psychological effects that being Batman has on Bruce Wayne, and that has always really interested me. Now, this won't be a gadget breakdown or a look at the tech that creates each suit. That will be a small part of it, but what I want to do is piece together what each suit means to the overall narrative at play in the Arkham series. The suits we'll be looking at are the Origins, Asylum, and two of the suits he wears in Arkham Knight, and they're what we'll be focusing on here. That isn't to downplay the other suits, but these suits are the chosen few, which to me tell the Arkham story through themselves. Starting with the earliest Batsuit we see Bruce don, the Arkham Origins suit. It's the perfect reflection of Bruce's mental state at the time. It shows his aggression, his anger, and his belief that Gotham's war on crime can only be won through fear. As the story unfolds, we see how wrong he is in that line of thinking. The armour alone doesn't make him a symbol of fear, and it certainly doesn't make him a symbol of justice. I wouldn't even say this is Batman at his most arrogant, I'd say that comes later, but this suit captures the fury and rawness of an early career Batman perfectly. Like him, it's built for battle. Where later suits are designed with precision and confidence in mind, this one feels closer to a sledgehammer than a scalpel. It's huge, it's intimidating, and it's built like military gear. From the heavy gauntlets to the padded armour covering his body, every part of it screams protection. Even the exposed design details, the straps connecting the chest plate to the shoulders, the visible fastening on the utility belt, the flexible material behind the knees, it all makes the suit feel handmade. You can really see the work that went into it, and we can even see this extra armour on display. Aside from the bullet holes inflicted by Joker in the bank, and the bite marks on the gauntlets inflicted by Croc on the roof of Blackgate, the suit only sustains scratches, and nothing nearly as bad as that which we'd see on the Asylum and City suits. The armour really works. It protects him from the elements, it protects him from knives, guns, punches, everything. The cowl even acts as more of a combat helmet than a cowl. Whereas other suits would lean into a leather or fabric-y look, the Origins helmet looks hard, it looks tough, and it earns those descriptions while fighting Bane. Bane punches Batman's head directly into the floor, throws him through walls, and even in some cases can snap Batman over his knee. But the added protection, the suit's inbuilt spinal support system, and the bulk surrounding the man inside ensures he's able to get back up and either fight or run, and that at the end of the day is what this suit is. It looks like something crafted by a man trying to prepare for war and survive, not some mythical creature descending from the shadows, and that fits this version of Batman perfectly. Bruce is still in his early crusade here. He's not refined or graceful yet. He knows his skills are raw and his understanding of Gotham is still incomplete. Over the course of Christmas Eve, he learns just how far he still has to go, and the suit reflects that. It's practical above all else, something designed to help him survive the night in one of the most dangerous cities on Earth. The larger belt, the bulkier presence, the pockets stuffed with gear, it all reinforces how grounded this version of Batman is. He's not relying on his finesse here, he's relying on raw power and armour, and the anger he harbours. And whether he means it or not, this thing is a tank. Even the symbol on his chest tells a story though. It's not quite the standard Arkham insignia, more of a blend between the Year 1 Bat and the future Arkham City design. And that comparison fits because Batman Year 1 and Arkham Origins share a lot of DNA. Both explore Bruce's isolation, the birth of a symbol, and the use of fear as a weapon. At this stage, the symbol doesn't stand for hope or justice, it's raw, it's undefined, and to quote Pattinson, it's a warning. The origin suit, like the man wearing it, is born out of fear. The fear of not being enough to save Gotham, and the fear of being physically broken before his mission even really begins. It shows us a Bruce Wayne who's angry, inexperienced, and arrogant enough to think he can fix Gotham with brute force, yet self-aware enough to know he still needs protection. The armour acts as more of a safety net at this point rather than a suit to strike fear. It's his fear put on display to us though. In trying to protect himself from his own crusade's consequences, we actually get a better look inside inside the mask than ever before. But if Origin's suit is Bruce's fear on display for us to see, the Asylum suit is Bruce conquering that fear and becoming the Bat, embracing what he needs to be and incorporating that into the suit's design. We spoke about the symbol on the Origin suit representing his weaponization of fear and the parallels it draws to Batman Year 1. Arkham Asylum's symbol is once again different to the traditional Arkham symbol, and once again draws thematic parallels to other integral bits of Batman lore, Grant Morrison's A Serious House on Serious Earth being the main one here though. The story is much more of a study of Arkham Asylum, but it also serves as a dive into the mind of Batman and how he might belong there as much as the people he puts in there. The fear he feels when locked inside the asylum while being hunted by his rogues gallery reflects in every part of the story. The artwork is horrifying, it's ethereal, it's almost dreamlike, and the symbol used on Arkham Asylum's suit reflects this. Not as much as the architecture of the asylum itself, but enough for us to know this is a Batman who is both fearful and aware of where he is, and that tonight he needs to embrace the asylum, similar to how his Serious House counterpart does this, using the asylum to take down various foes. He uses the island to his advantage, he uses its gargoyles as perches, its vents as opportunities to take out escaped inmates. The whole night the asylum and the character are in tandem, and as the island falls and Batman falls, the suit falls with him, literally and figuratively. It sustains lasting damage and it resembles almost a second skin. It's sculpted that closely to his body that his abs are visible. His arms can be seen flexing through the fabric. This isn't a Batman who needs the protection offered by traditional body armor. This is a Batman who wants the protection offered by his own aura. I know the term aura has become a lot more common, especially when talking about Batman, but here I think its use is more than justified. This is the first time we see Bruce Wayne and Batman really feel like one cohesive unit, less reliant on tech and armor and more reliant on each other. I don't usually like the idea that Batman is the real thing and Bruce Wayne is the mask, because this just isn't the case. Val Kilmer put it best in Batman Forever with his iconic quote,
"You see, I'm both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Not because I have to be. Now, because I choose to be."
He is both equally, because in the same way both Robin and Chase needed both Batman and Bruce equally at that point to save them, Batman and Bruce need each other. One cannot exist without the other, but with that being said, I think if there was an example of Batman and Bruce Wayne nearly becoming one, it's with this suit, and we see that by the damage that gets inflicted onto it. For example, during the scene where Harley Quinn drops an elevator onto him and a guard, the suit is cut open, exposing Bruce's chest. This is more than a cosmetic change. To me, this is the island opening him up, exposing him and showing that no one, not even the great Batman, gets away unscathed. It's a move which simply wouldn't have worked with Arkham Origins' suit, and I think that's for a very intentional reason. The Origins armour is too stubborn, and so is the man beneath it. I mentioned earlier how Origins, to me at least, isn't Bruce at his most arrogant. I think that honour actually goes to Arkham Asylum. The suit is a reflection of that to the utmost degree. It's got no visible armour, presumably it has some armour beneath the fabric, but this is where we see the fear Bruce harboured in Origins leave him. He no longer needs that bulk. The padded chest, the visible straps, they're both gone in favour of a more devilish look, similar to the suit Ben Affleck dons in Batman v Superman. It's striking, it places Batman on a pedestal as a symbol of fear. The suit is tight to his body, sculpting his muscles and giving him this almost demonic look. It shows Bruce has finally blurred the lines between man and myth. Whereas before people saw Batman as a brute who'd beat the life out of you before asking questions, being only marginally better than someone like Bane, now Batman leans into his own myth, and the idea of offering protection instead of with armour, with long jagged cowlies, a suit that moulds to his body. He has become Batman fully, and every part of him moves with the speed, fluidity and strength that he himself has honed. But on the flip side, he's still a man, evident by the anatomy of the suit. Its humanity still manages to shine through as much as its presence. In some ways, I don't think Bruce is to blame for his confidence in his own ability. He's older, wiser, and more focused on the mission than ever, unclouded by doubts or the need to prove something. He's become Batman in every sense of the phrase, and the need to trade armour for speed comes with that confidence. A demon doesn't wear armour, he wears his myth. He wears the fear that radiates off of his victims. The fear that he strikes into the criminals is enough armour in itself. And whereas the origin suit was scary due to its size, the Asylum suit is scary due to its lack of physical size. It doesn't artificially bulk Batman up in any way. What you see is what you get, and I'd argue that's more terrifying than anything. The cape adds a bit of presence, but even without it, he's still a 6'2", 220-pound beast, whose sole purpose, in the criminal's eyes, is to take them out. These themes and philosophies apply to the City suit as well though. Although the Asylum and City suits aren't the same, with the two having slightly altered colour schemes, the City suit having a less jagged and more hopeful symbol, and a few other minor changes here and there, they convey the same message to both us, the audience, and the criminals on the streets. Batman is mythical. He is the moment of hesitation in a criminal's head that stops a crime ever being committed, and that is due to the fact when he puts that suit on, he can be those things. He can do what others can't because the suit allows him. The suit doesn't make the man, but it sure as hell makes the myth. I was never going to do a segment on the City suit because a huge amount of the stuff I'd say relates directly to the Asylum suit as well, and the changes that do appear don't change the idea behind the suit or really its appearance. Arkham Asylum and City suit show the connection between the man and the myth, but it's Arkham Knight suit I think that shows the connection starting to lessen. When we open Batman Arkham Knight, we see Batman in the version 7.43 suit. This is different from the City suit, even being called the post-Arkham City suit, and it begins to lessen that harmony between Bruce and Bat. It has more visible armour, less defined muscles, it looks more future-proof and gives off a sense of durability. But within that, we can still see it moves with Batman while offering protection. Protection he'll have needed since the last two times we saw him, where the Arkham City and Asylum suits respectively, he nearly died. This is how we know Bruce is both aging and coming to terms with the fact his body isn't the only thing that he needs anymore. He might not need Origin's level of protection, but he still needs something that, when cut for example, won't instantly reveal his skin, and despite the fact we never see the post-City suit damage due to the fact he changes it out, we can clearly tell it has something a bit more to it. When that suit change comes after Batman encounters a tricky hostage situation, we get to see the version 8.03 suit. This suit is both a thematic and personal shift for Bruce. He goes from being one with the suit, with every muscle and fibre being in tandem with the suit, to now almost being encased in it, Bruce being overshadowed by the enhancements the new costume makes. This is the suit we actually end up knowing the most about, and I think that's for a reason. I'm going to read out the specs of the suit, and we'll come back to why I think that is later. But it's made from a titanium-dipped tri-weave fibre mesh, a layered bodysuit, but inside those layers is a liquid armour system powered by what Wayne Tech calls smart MR fluid, which basically hardens instantly on impact, meaning that when Batman gets hit, the suit stiffens to absorb the blow and lets him hit back even harder. The liquid system is also what makes the suit more flexible compared to the older, heavier designs. It lets Batman move faster, react quicker, and take down multiple enemies in one smooth motion, and that's what makes the Fear multi-takedowns possible. The suit's technology doesn't stop there either, it's directly linked to the Batmobile, allowing the systems to work together. Batman can launch himself out of the car using an electromagnetic ejection system, which in-game Lucius Fox likens to basically functioning like a railgun for humans. The armour can handle up to 6 Gs of acceleration without Bruce getting injured, allowing him to glide, grapnel boost and eject from the Batmobile at high speed safely. The gauntlets come equipped with retractable blades, forensic scanners and haptic controls that allow Batman to operate the Batmobile remotely. And there's even a holographic projector built into the suit for communication and battlefield analysis. But even with all that technology, it isn't perfect. The armour plates can pretty easily stop bullets, as we see when Gordon shoots Batman at the end of the game. However, the weak points are the gaps between the plates, which is what the Arkham Knight takes advantage of and points out. The liquid armour is excellent at absorbing impacts, but it only offers moderate protection from bullets, especially at close range. The suit compensates with an automatic automatic compression system that seals around wounds to stop bleeding, but the fact is the suit isn't perfect. But even when we look at the bat symbol, it feels almost alive in this suit, as if it breathes with Bruce, it moves with him, flexes with him, and allows for more freedom, and dare I say more humanity within the armour. Yet, the irony is, this is also the least human of all of his suits. It's cold, mechanical, and almost unsettling in how robotic it looks. The contradiction is what makes this design so fascinating to me, though. It's as if Bruce was trying to merge every version of himself, the symbol of fear, the calculated detective, the soldier, into one final form. The suit is fast, powerful, and efficient, but beneath all that, it desperately feels like it's trying to be something more, something human. It's Bruce's attempt to remind himself that he's still there beneath the armour, even as the line between man and bat begin to blur more and more than ever as the night goes on. What we gain in speed and strength, and perhaps even fear factor, we lose in Bruce. Obviously it's still him in the suit, but the suit becomes a symbol of fear in a few ways. And I think one that completes the circle of the evolution of suits is that it protects Bruce from most attacks, with its armour being powerful enough to stop a bullet. But in doing so, it once again shows the fear he harbours. In the same way he armours up in Origins out of fear for not being able to save himself or the city, he does it again here, almost reapplying the turtle shell after years of abuse and pain. He needs the physical enhancements to quell the fear of failure. All of these enhancements means the suit actually takes over. He isn't solely relying on his own strength and power anymore. The tech he's built and the years of experience he's gained combine to almost balance out that little bit of lost pep in the step. This might be a strange analogy, but it's all I've got. But when a footballer gets older, they tend to get slower and physically drop off, relying on their team to do the hard yards. And they begin acting as kind of the brains of the team, and that's what I think happens to Batman here, albeit to a bit of a lesser extent. As Gotham is taken over and he realises he can't keep up by himself anymore, he relies on the suit more and more, and this is where we see that fear come through once again. Tying into the fear he feels, it's almost like Bruce puts on the new suit as a way to gain control. Control is at the heart of Arkham Knight's story. Every major character in the game is defined by how they deal with losing control, or how they deal with trying to take control. Scarecrow wants to control Gotham through fear and end Batman, turning the city into a war zone to do so. Gordon wants control too, and after Oracle's kidnapping, that need for control pushes him to take reckless actions because he can no longer trust that Batman has all the answers. But the most important struggle for control happens inside Bruce himself. The new Batsuit is the physical manifestation of that struggle. The technology, the reinforced plating, the link to the new and more brutal Batmobile. All of it is Bruce trying to assert dominance over his new environment and limitations. The suit gives him more mobility, better reaction time, and more raw strength than any version before it, but it also shows how much he depends on technology to stay ahead as the threat around him go from goofy green question askers and bank robbers to militaries capable of citywide takeovers in a couple of hours. By the time Bruce equips this new armour, his body isn't enough anymore. The suit from Asylum and City, that fear factor alone, just isn't enough. The militia is more organised, they're better armed and more relentless than any enemy he's faced. Without the new suit, he physically cannot keep up. And in a way, the armour becomes a crutch. It becomes a way to maintain the illusion that he's still in control of the chaos around it. And what makes this idea even more tragic is that the suit represents both Bruce's brilliance and his denial. It feels like his final statement that he can still control the uncontrollable, that he can handle Gotham, his enemies, and his own demons through pure force of will. But the more he relies on the suit, the more he reveals how fragile that belief really is. He's terrified of losing control, and this suit, it's sleek, mechanical, and almost robotic. It reflects a man trying to hold himself together, while everything around him and inside of him begins to fall apart, and that ultimately leads to his downfall. When Scarecrow says that he is in complete control while in Ace Chemicals, he actually means it. Crane is one of the only foes in the entire series who truly is in control for most of the time. It all just falls in place for him, and no new suit or car could have changed that. But maybe it's for the best. Batman has to lose. It's what makes him such a great character. He loses, and if he doesn't lose, that's where we get the weaker versions of Batman from a storytelling standpoint. It's within the loss of control and ultimately the myth of Batman dying that we see the character at his best, just a man in a suit doing what he can to protect the innocence of the city he loves from the monsters, and although he has to become a monster to fight those who do harm, even with suits that inspire fear, the through line is that they all inspire hope. A criminal might see the suit and cower, but Gotham, the world, even in his darkest moment, they still see someone willing to fight for them. And that's where we complete the circle. From a myth born out of fear to a myth transformed into a very real protector of Gotham's streets, all the way to a man finally realising he can't always win and he can't control everything. Batman's story throughout the Arkham series is told through his suits. Each one reflects where he is at that point in his journey, both physically and mentally. Every design choice, every layer of armour, every symbol across his chest, they all mirror the man beneath it, and I think that's one of the series' greatest and most subtle achievements. It manages to tell Bruce's entire evolution without ever needing to say a word. Thank you all for watching. I know this one was a bit weird. I had this idea when I was laying in bed the other night and was like, that could be really cool. I really do hope you enjoyed it. It's something a bit different. It's more analytical. Obviously, there's some stuff in here that not everyone will agree with, and this video is actually kind of a lot of interpretation. This is how I've always interpreted these suits, obviously with a bit of extra stuff put in there because, you know, I had to do research and whatever. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to make, and I'm sorry if my voice sounded a bit weird. I think I've got a cold coming on, so if my voice sounds a bit strange and it's not because of the accent, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.